GM, it's your quant. Long time I haven't done a video, so most of my videos are in private now. But I will do a video to basically discuss a bit on how to prepare Q4 and go through like some charts at the end of the video, of course. So first thing first, Solana has underperformed a bit, in the last few months now. And we had like a small Solana ETF, which is like something very, very cool. It's not a big issue, right? It's not BlackRock. Let's hope BlackRock or any other big guy jump in before the end of the year. We also had like stocks on Solana, which is something very, very cool. And I think it really resonates with the vision of like having Solana becoming the Nasdaq on-chain. And yeah, that's super cool. Also, we had a sale fluent on Q42. The goal is to have one infrastructure project on Q42 every 2 weeks, right? And the goal of that is to basically build the smartest exposure to the new upcoming coins that are coming onto the market. Hub has something special. I don't know. Perhaps some of you have already tested the agents. I recommend you to have a look and try. And you have like a double kind of like on the points you get for the coming week. And of course, everything I'm saying is not financial advice or anything, right? And I had a question last week about the fact that money supply did a new all-time high, and people were like, "Why is crypto not pumping and everything?" So because M2 is doing an all-time high doesn't mean that we have like liquidity getting into crypto. The main issue we have right now is the rates in the US that are too high, and that's why Trump is really pressuring a lot Powell, right? And until the rates doesn't go down, this liquidity that is in the bond market will stay in the bond market. So people are like putting their money in the bond market because the yield is very high, so they are yielding their money to beat inflation. But when the rates will go down, most likely like in Q4, looks like, people will be like, okay, I need to take more risk to basically beat the inflation and like, I don't know, have my money work right. And this is how like people will go more to stocks, more to crypto, and then end up buying watches and everything like we had during COVID. So we have to be patient and wait to be right. But it's always the best thing. Summer is slow. I think we'll have like some very good opportunities this summer to buy some coins at very cool price. And then it's about like building conviction. And after that, you have crypto going up, you sell, and then you make money, right? So of course, everything I'm saying is not a financial advice, but I was a cookie investor. I have purchased, after the TG, when it like went down a bit. And I still have a bag. I have bought some, and I've added a bit more like in my bag at 0.16. So I think below 0.16, it's interesting. But really have a look, do your research. The team is building like crazy. They have delivered. They have a good track record, and with the snaps they have launched recently, I think it's really something. But I will go in details a bit more after that. And yeah, then that's it. So thanks for all of you like following Trenches. Really recommend you to go follow Trenches, sharing a bit of content, from this private alpha group and stuff, that are happening kind of like behind the scene, and they are sharing a bit of cool content, so feel free to have a look. We have Popcat. I think it's an interesting one because it's now listed everywhere. Revolut, Robinhood, Coinbase, just missed Binance. Got listed on Binance US I think a few weeks ago, and the price is like down, I don't know, 80% since last like high, which is interesting. So we recommend you to go have a look, do your research, and then get the bag. But I have a Popcat bag. I really like this chart also, this picture. It's like the Wall Street like psychology market cycle like paper like sheet, yeah. And I really like the thing that in July, so August it will be pretty slow, and we can have a push, in Q4. So you want to be in the trenches when prices are low, because this is where you build conviction. This is where like you clean up your portfolio, and then you are ready for when the price goes up to secure like some generational wealth, as people say. And another like interesting one, worst USD performance since 1973. Yeah, USD has been down quite a lot this year. I think the main issue is about the rates. The US is really in a situation now a bit critical because they have rates super high, when almost like all major like competitors like European Central Bank, Switzerland, many other like fiat currency have the rates way lower than the US. So they are in under pressure. and I think like Powell like took too much time to cut the rates. I think the rate should be down 1 point from what it is now. And so now they are in a tough situation. So we'll see if we'll have like another like GDP contraction this quarter, which will put like the US in force like the US to cut the rates, right? But it's an interesting one. And honestly, you know, you look at last week they voted, you know, in the Senate like a bill to have them like grow the debt, you know, in the US. So in the end, you know, we should not be too worried. A very interesting thing, I think, for people who have time during this summer is to have a look at Kaito, have a look at Cookie, at the campaign, you know, and try to interact about the project they have. Not really to farm or like to make money, but more I think it's a good way to have some consistency with your Twitter, to post and so on. So I would recommend you to have a look and try to do some stuff because it's very very interesting. Another one, you know, Bid has overperformed quite a lot. We're gonna check that just after that. And you see, right? It's like high quality projects, strong team, strong narrative, and then you know what they were just missing was some mindshare, you know, from Twitter. And then you have some mindshare, people tweeting about it, people like getting more exposure because some people talk about the project, and then it price goes up, right? And I really like the tweet here where like the sentiment is 100% bullish, you know, and again, you know, it's bullish, but it's not like dumb greed, you know. People be like, okay, I buy Bid because price is going up, you know. It's really more people like sharing like good content about Bid, and so they attract smarter money. Smarter money brings better charts, and better charts then bring better charts, right? But like, we'll see what I mean. And that's the most important thing, is like really to be focused on the coins who attract smart players, because in the end, these will tend to overperform in the long term or like medium term, because you have smarter investors that don't sell after like plus 10%. They really build conviction, and you know they want to make like a home run kind of. So Galaxy is a share, you know, from Galaxy Digital. I think most of you know Mike Novogratz. He's an OG. I think he made me buy the bottom in 2019. I think, yeah, it was 2019. Yeah. Yeah, or 2018. I don't remember when was the bottom at Bitcoin, like below 6K, like a long time ago, guys. But he was like having a strong conviction, and he was really back in the time. He's still now, but like he was really back in the time, like the forefront of like of Bitcoin, right? And so they're playing a super smart play. I recommend you to go have a look at the stock, not really to buy, but to understand more what they are doing, you know. And I think they are really building a super cool narrative. So now let's chat a bit more about charts. So we have Solana really a bit struggling. It's higher than the price. I would like to buy Solana, you know, because I think for us the buy zone is below 120 and it's at 150, right? But still, I'm accumulating a bit of Solana because I want to get more exposure to some meme coins or some agents and so on. So yeah, that's what I have done in the past few weeks. If we've been saved, we claim back the $2,400, which was like something very important. I was starting to be a bit like, oof, when it was at 2,200. And I think it's consolidating in this like range. I think it will do it like during the summer. And then if we have like, if we have it right, we'll have like a clean breakout and the price going higher kind of. So that's very cool. Then about bid, so we really had like in 4 hours, in 8 hours, it's like really let's go in 4 hours. It's a piece of art. So, you know, first one, second one, third one, fourth one, like all the dips have been bought. We had like, I think a small resistance now at 0.16. But looks like the dip, you know, are being bought, you know, because there is not much sellers. People are just buying their bid and they stake. And by the way, if you have bids, I really recommend you to go stake because it's interesting and it makes like kind of your bid work for you, kind of. Go under some agents. So basically, when you have staked your bid, you can say, okay, from my bid that I've staked, I can say, oh, I like those agents or not. And you can select some. For example, me, I have taken some of my bid and I've endorsed Camille. It's one of the agents they have on Binance Smart Chain. And so that's pretty cool. Now perhaps let's have a look at Cookie chart. I don't know if I have the chart since the beginning. Yeah. So for Cookie, I was VC investor. I have done a video when I was buying when it was literally the bottom. So I've been a bit lucky, right? Not gonna lie, but I feel like the team was super strong. They were building, and the valuation was like very undervalued. So I bought, but and that's interesting because it was like a value play trade, which is pretty rare in crypto. Nobody talks really about value in crypto, but it was kind of like value play. Then they had like cookie.fund going out. Then they had the Binance listing, which was mad, and the price like really rocketed. And then I don't know where they launched Snaps, which is a Kaito competitor, but basically the chart was looking cool. I added a bit more because I have a conviction on cookie, right? And I would rather buy cookie than Kaito. And I wanted to have a bit more exposure toward that narrative. For hype, I have sold almost all my hype bag. It was above like $35. I'm starting to sell. And I will be very patient on on this one. I don't know. The narrative is super strong, so I don't see it really going down quite a lot. So perhaps I will not have hype in my portfolio for quite some time, but that's okay. That's part of the game, right? Let me drink a bit. Sorry. Yeah, sorry, I was a bit sick this week. So yeah, for hype, I will not buy above like $25, so I will wait to see where the price fall. Then we also had Bonk overperforming a bit, but nothing too crazy. Let me check if there is AIXBT still too high for me to buy. So I'm a bit waiting. I think we are close to a bottom on AIXBT. Perhaps we'll go lower during the summer because summer are usually a bit slow. But it's still too high for me to buy, so I am waiting. It's like Sui. Sui, I'm also waiting. I don't know. I had a small trade on Sui. I have a small long opened. I don't know on what chart. Sorry. Okay, I don't remember which chart was it. But I have a small long open on Sui. At the open, let me move that here. Let me reduce the size. Yeah, I've opened a small long at $2.6. So yeah, it's not my best trade. It's a bit slow, but the chart looks good. But definitely for Sui, I was waiting for the price to go a bit lower to add a spot back. So I was frustrated. That's why I opened a small long, right? But definitely cooking Sui. I think it's a strong one. Definitely one to have in the portfolio. We can't be everywhere. We can't have all the crypto in the portfolio, right? And I sold at $4 to buy back lower, and I'm in no rush. So, my thesis. I would rather miss an opportunity that takes an opportunity where I'm not like 100% confident. Also on Pengu, had a very cool run, almost like a 2x. And yeah, I sold a bit at 0.16, a bit of my spot bag, 20%, nothing much. I have a strong conviction on this one. It's just like, it makes sense for me on my risk management to sell a bit here. So yeah. So feel free, guys, if you have any ticker you want me to comment on or to do a technical analysis on, feel free to share. Feel free to ping me on Twitter, or like comment on my post. Oh, I want to have your opinion on that coin. Sorry, I'm a bit sick. And I will definitely have a look and give you my opinion. Of course, not financial advice, right? But yeah. And I recommend you to have a look at Kaito, Cookie, get a bit more about the mind share, how is it going, because I think it will be a key stuff to know which are the projects that will overperform or not, for Q4. So yeah, that was your quant. Cheers, have a good summer. Stay in the trenches a bit and take care.